Hello, my name is Justin Hawkins, and today I will be presenting on partnerships and the ethical standards that follow them. To begin my discussion, I will start by defining what a business partnership is, as well as what ethics are. I will then go on to describe the ethical dimensions of a partnership and include the positive and negative implications ethics have on partnerships. I will then describe the problems businesses and partners have to be ethical amongst one another, amongst their consumers, and amongst their shareholders. From there, I will give an example of a very highly unethical business partnership, excuse me, as well as the laws and regulations that govern over partnerships and ethics. The definition of a business partnership is a legal relation existing between two or more persons contractually associated as joint principals in a business. Ethics is defined as the rules of behavior based on what is morally right and wrong. Ethical dimensions of a partnership. First dimension is the fact that ethical leadership amongst all partners is key, for if one partner is unethical, it could cause scandals for the entire partnership amongst all companies involved. For example, if one business has an unethical partner involved in it, it may give your entire people a bad name because you are associated with that one partner. It is also important to be transparent amongst your partners as well as with everyone else. Make sure you do not come across as having a hidden agenda, for if you do, people think you have something to hide or you're plotting against them, and they will not be able to trust you, and trust is vital for a business partnership. Integrity builds that trust and is key to a faithful, efficient, and lasting partnership amongst all partners. Integrity helps keep reputation, and reputation is key to all partners because if you have a bad name, a bad rep, you are less likely to get a good partnership deal because people do not trust you and they're afraid of what they might do to your company. Now we will discuss the ethical implications, both positive and negative, starting with the positives. Positive ethical behavior in a partnership can result in added trust amongst partners as well as shareholders and consumers. This trust can bring in more business and future deals and a better organized partnership. It builds reputation amongst the community and popularity, both of which can add in shareholder wealth, which is key to almost every partnership and company as a whole. This will also get you better employee retention. If your employees are ethical, they're more likely to stay, less likely to get fired. If they were to say unethical employees, they would not last very long, and you'd be hiring a lot more often, giving you a bad rep for hiring bad employees. You are also far less likely to get in any legal trouble if you are a highly ethical company and partnership. If your partners per se get into some legal trouble because of their unethical behavior, that legal trouble can also transfer to you because you are associated with them, negligence per se. Negatives on unethical behavior in a partnership are possible dissolution of the partnership because if you act unethical, they don't want to be associated with you and you've just lost your business partner because they don't want to get dragged down with you. Another thing is the loss of business and stock prices for both parties because if you're unethical and get caught, people don't trust you anymore. They won't invest in you, they won't buy you, and then it just drags both partners down, like I said earlier, because they associate the two with each other. And opposite of positives with legal issues, you will have many legal issues for people taking you to civil court for reasons such as fraud, lying to them, they feel like they've been cheated and you owe them. So you will have your fair share of legal issues if you're unethical. And then the worst possible outcome for you and your unethical behavior is possible bankruptcy and total loss of business. For an example that will be shown later on, there's a company that lied, and as soon as they were found out, the stock prices plummeted and they went bankrupt. Problems for partners to be ethical. A big problem is ethical relativism. Ethical relativism is the universal values that apply to everyone or is everything relative to an individual or company or person or country. It's all relative to what they believe. When you have multiple partners come in, 3, 4, as many as there are, what is relative ethically to everyone? Do they all have the same ethical standards? Does an American company and a Japanese company have the same ethical standards as one another, even if they're partnered for a certain project? It creates problems to set the standards amongst each other. Another thing is being honest with your partners and the general public. A lot of people like companies and partnerships like to lie to get ahead, such as Volkswagen's lying about their emissions so that people will still buy their cars and think they're doing good for the environment, when in all reality, they are plummeting the environment in even worse condition. Another thing that is prominent in the US is gifts amongst partners to get ahead of another partner. One partner will buy a higher up something of a gift, car, money, etc., to gain favor in a non-business-like way over someone else to hopefully gain more standing with that one partner. This is highly unethical and in most cases illegal in the United States. Another thing is a conflict of partners' personal ethics and their duties to stakeholders in society. This once again deals with ethical relativism, as their personal ethics aren't relative to their business ethics and they think they clash, and so they're more ought to do what they think is personally right than the company says is right or society says is right. Furthermore, there is conflict of interest. When there's conflict of interest, and a partner will put his own interest above the company's or above society's, thinking they need it better, and this creates a problem for them to act ethically to the temptation for themselves to succeed and go farther in this business life. An example of a very highly unethical partnership is that of Enron and Arthur Andersen, neither of which are operating in business today. Enron and Arthur Andersen set up Enron's books to make stock prices look, or not stock prices, but their profits look better than they were. This in turn made their stock prices go up because people wanted to invest and get in on it. Enron, however, was setting up an offshore accounts and putting stuff under the books, an easily catchable accounting fraud. And Arthur Andersen, their accounting partner for values of Enron, okayed the books, said they were good, and made the accounts work. And Arthur Andersen and Enron both went from Fortune 500 companies to bankrupt within several weeks of each other due to this partnered scandal. And Arthur Andersen not only did not comply with the scandal of Enron, they burnt all records, shredded them, and tried to obstruct justice when they were found out to be accomplices of Enron. This in and of itself is lying, unethical, and highly illegal. This is a very good example that shows unethical behavior can lead very well to legal trouble and lead to your business going under the water and in the red, and possibly loss of all business in the case of both Enron and Arthur Andersen. Laws and regulations, most of which were made in the wake of partnerships like Enron and Arthur Andersen, such as the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, which prevents financial fraud and unethical lies, such as what they did with their books. This requires financial statements to be true and accurate and done honestly in good faith, and will weigh heavily with criminal charges if found guilty of. Furthermore, there's the Sherman Antitrust Act of 1989. This act, while it seems to not apply to partners, truly does, because it regulates unethical and illegal attempts or conspiracy to attempt to make unethical or illegal illicit trade deals or illegal price setting that would interfere and infringe on the competitive market, or two people coming together to set up to knock someone out in a very uncompetitive, illegal way. This is highly unethical and destroys competition as we know it in the type of business world we have today. The problem with making business laws and regulations is that everything in this world that is unethical is not illegal. And with, once again, referring to ethical relativity, should it be? Just because you believe it's unethical does that necessarily define it to be illegal? And that's where a lot of companies find a hard time to draw the line. These are with my references of where you can find all of my information. I appreciate you for watching my PowerPoint. Thank you.